Here we go, get ready for a mess. Oh, I hate when that happens. All right, you guys might have saw we got the Model G running, it's running good. Got the water pump changed, but now we're gonna change the oil. So if you've never seen the process to change the oil on a Model G, it's very similar to most of the John Deere 2-cylinder tractors. First of all, get you a big oil pan. You might even consider getting a 5-gallon bucket, because if you don't know the history of the tractor, like I don't know the history of this one, we don't know what's in that crankcase. It could be coolant, all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna take my chances and use a fairly normal oil pan, and I'm sure I'll end up regretting it. Let's see. Something I like to do, you might notice there's cardboard down here. I fully anticipate this making a huge mess when it comes out. It might come out faster than the rate of what the oil pan can actually drain into its main reservoir in there. But anyhow, you'll see here, right here is the oil pump, here's the oil filter, here's the oil plug. So we're going to take out this plug. Just have at it. The oil pressure on this tractor isn't quite desirable. It's a little bit under medium on the gauge. I don't know if the gauge is accurate. Could be a gauge problem. Might be thin oil. We'll see what it reads after we change the oil. Here we go. Get ready for a mess. I'm just going to pull this plug, and I expect it to go sploosh. Oh, I hate when that happens. This happened on my Model A also. It's because there's so much gunk in the bottom of this crankcase. That's probably the culprit on the oil pressure. Oh man. I'm gonna get a screwdriver to poke in there. So here's what we're dealing with. Just looks like grease at the bottom of that plug. I don't know the service history of this tractor. All I know is the oil is black and the oil pressure isn't quite optimal. Let's pick that out of there. Oh my gosh, it's so thick and it's like grease. That's what it feels like. You know, it's just dirt. Oh, come out of there. Yeah, it's nasty. Now I'm gonna have to go buy some diesel to flush this thing out. So I don't happen to have any here, at least I don't think I do. Oh gosh. Ugh, I hate that. So far we're doing pretty good. I have not made the mess this time that I normally make, and that's a good thing. So anyhow, let all your oil drain out of there. Keep the plug out, just let it drip for a while. And we'll get going again after it's all drained out. Alright, so on the Model Gs, you may have a thingamadoohickey here. You guys tell me what it's called. I don't know if it's a crankcase breather or what. But this is where we're going to add the oil to fill up the crankcase. Alright, so I went and bought some diesel. And I'm basically going to put some diesel down in the crankcase. And I'm going to start this thing up, maybe run it a couple minutes, shut it off, drain the stuff out, see what comes out of it. Hopefully that gets rid of some of the sludge in the bottom of the crankcase. Remember to put the drain plug back in the bottom of your crankcase. Being that I have the crankcase full of diesel instead of oil, I don't really want to put a load on it by driving it out. I'm sure realistically it's probably not going to hurt anything, but I'm not going to chance it. So I'm just going to push this thing to where the exhaust is outside, and then we'll start it out there. Jeez. Yeah, I definitely would have liked to run it longer, but the oil pressure gauge was kind of scaring me, and I hope I didn't like suck something up, you know, and clog up a passage or the pump somewhere. It's possible. Hopefully it gets some of that gunk out with it. So I'm still not entirely happy with how this is going. I know there's more stuff on the bottom of that crankcase. I think I'm going to just proceed with the oil change and then change it again here in another, I don't know, 10 running hours or something like that. I can feel the sludge on the bottom of that crankcase. There's a lot in there. Well, it's better to find out than not, I guess. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take the filter out. I'm going to let this keep dripping. When you get a used tractor and you don't know the service history on it, it's always a coin toss. You could have some machine that was meticulously maintained, and you have others where you're like, what in the world has this thing been through? I'm just kind of surprised about the amount of sludge with this one, knowing that it's had other work done. So I guess this is perfect time to tell you about something I've been using. Maybe this will help you out too. So this is Super Clean Floor Absorbent. It's in this little plastic jug here. I've been using Super Clean products for a long time. This is something that I like over, if you've ever seen the bags of stuff that looks like kitty litter you throw down, this stuff's way more absorbent. Definitely worth a shot in my book. It's really not that expensive. This is like $4 per container at Walmart. So if you're using the other stuff, the kitty litter type stuff in a bag, try this out. Alright, so the next thing we got to do is there is a rubber ring where the canister cover went. We need to pick that out of there. Here it comes. You want to make sure you get this entire ring out of there, because if you don't, your new one won't be able to seat in there properly. So get the ring and any junk around there with it. So here we have the NAPA 1242 gold filter. I'll put a link to this in the description as well. I get these over the John Deere ones because it comes with the O-ring, whereas the John Deere one, to my knowledge, you have to buy separately. These cost about $15, and surprisingly, NAPA always has them in stock when I need them, which is awesome. Normally, I would suggest taking this canister bowl out and cleaning it out thoroughly. I'm going to wipe it out, but I'm not going to disassemble it like I normally do. Reason being, I know all the sludge in the bottom of that crankcase, so that's something I'm going to address at a later time. We'll do the thorough cleaning of everything that next time. The reason why I'm not doing it right now, it's more involved than I have time to do at the moment. I need to get into the top of the crankcase, which involves taking this cover plate off. However, I need to remove all this stuff around it. I don't have time for that at the moment, so we're going to run this thing, fresh oil, fresh filter, run it another 10 hours, then we're going to take it apart and get that thing tidy in there. The NAPA filter does come with 2 different O-rings. You're going to have to figure out which one of these you need on your tractor. They provide those because the same filter is used on a lot of the John Deere 2-cylinder tractors. Some of them need a different size than the other. I'm putting some old oil on here just so that it can make a good seal. So it was the smaller of the 2 rings provided. Here's the canister cover. As I said, I'm wiping that out. Then we're going to put the filter, the cartridge filter, up in there. Get it started. Now this nut here is something you don't want to over tight. If you do, bad things will happen. Notice how I'm holding my wrench close to the nut. I don't want all that torque on it by holding it at the end. Next thing, we're going to put our oil plug back in and fill the crankcase back up with oil. Next time that we do this, we're dropping the oil pump. I'm going to get gaskets for this. There should be a screen around it, which helps block any debris that could be sucked into it. I'm imagining the thing's just full of gunk. We'll drop it out and clean that out next time. You're going to put 10 quarts of oil into the crankcase as shown here. I use 15W40 diesel oil. You might have a preference of something else on what you want to use. There we have it. So you also notice there's a little pipe fitting here. That is the first reduction gear cover. And you want to put about a quart of oil into there. So now we're just going to put the breather filter back on, as well as the top pipe. Close up that plug there, and it's time to do our first run and check for oil pressure. make sure we don't have any crazy leaks or anything. Looks the same as before.
Unfortunately, the oil pressure is the same as it was before the oil change, but at least I found out that the crankcase has a bunch of sludge in it, and maybe that's the culprit. I'll try and address that next time. In the meantime, at least I know it's got clean oil in it, and I'm not going to be working it hard, so I'm not extremely concerned right now about the low oil pressure.